guys, I'm Shubhanka Sridhar from MissMalini, and today I'm going to be talking to Nithya Menen, a very well-known name down south with films like OK Kanmani and Psycho to her credit, where she's given some fab performances. She debuted in Hindi films last year with Akshay Kumar and Vidya Balan's film Mission Mangal, and now she's set for her digital debut with Amazon Prime's Breathe Season 2. I'm so excited to be talking to her today to ask her how excited she is for the show and a lot more.
Your first web series is coming out during the lockdown. So how does that feel?
I mean, the plan was to, have a big premiere and a release and lots of press tours and everything. This being my digital debut, I always told these guys that I thought Breathe was my best performance so far. So I'm really excited for Breathe to come out. I'm really looking forward. I want to see what it looks like, actually.
Yeah, the trailer looks amazing. With the first season, we know it's a very gripping thriller. So everyone's excited to see who's going to go with this one. And how did it happen though? It is your first digital the web series, and how did you chance on it?
I think coincidentally it started with OK Kanmani because Mayank, the director of Breathe, had watched OK Kanmani and he was absolutely fond of the film and everything. And then his wife told me later, we were watching the film and then at the end of it he said, I want her in my thing. I want her to be there. So he pretty much was quite single-minded about me playing that role, and he insisted, and it was I think just from his side mostly. And then
and it's a role which is a little it's about a mother who's who do anything to get her child back, and it's quite a intense role. So how was it prepping for it and even shooting it during?
I don't think I prepped for it, as I don't do for most of my films or anything, but then it was definitely one of the most intense things I have ever done, because putting yourself in a situation which has never happened to you, or you can't imagine something like that happening to you, or the situation is so crazy and surreal, to kind of, it's so important to me to be very real. And when I do films like OK Kanmani or something like that, I'm playing myself. I'm expressing things that I'm very much aware of and I know and everything. So this, this situations in the series was so surreal and something I had never experienced. So it was quite intense from my side. I kept to keep the graph of the character and to not make it look cliche and everything was quite an intense process for me.
So I wanted to ask you about how it was working with Abhishek and with Amit also in the series.
I remember a scene that Amit and me did, the first scene that we ever did, and after that scene was done, both me and Amit were like, did you feel that? He's like, yeah, I felt it. Did you feel it? So very, very, very rarely have I felt that kind of give and take while performing, which you don't get from a lot of actors. So that way I enjoyed working with Amit because of that sort of chemistry between artists. When you're acting, that person gives you that energy and you feed off it and then you give it back and that kind of a thing. So so the scenes with Amit and me is something that both of us enjoy watching because it's so real and it's so electric. So it was, so I really in fact, people around us keep saying you guys should do more, together because you look great together. And that's just because of that sort of energy. And that sort of, that sort of give and take that just naturally we do. But yeah, in general, the whole experience of Breathe was absolutely fantastic for me. This is exactly what I wanted to do when I'm saying if I'm an actor. This is how I want to. This is the kind of content I want to do. This is the kind of people I want to work with. This is the kind of wavelength I want to be around and everything. Yeah. So in general, that shoot was just, for me, I was the most comfortable, most happy. And that's why I think it's my best performance so far, because nothing really stopped.
And it's also the fact that, if it's a web series, you have more scope to explore your own character, right? Because it has more. So did you feel that, was that a very stark difference from maybe doing?
Yes. One thing I did notice was how, because we are so used to films, we kind of form a sort of time, this thing, which is like, we squeeze our expressions and everything a little bit to time, because a film has to fit in between that 1.5 or 2 hours. You can't take your own time with everything. You need to slightly keep up. The sort of timing is there. That's one thing that just was liberated for me in this, because I was asked to just go ahead, take my time, do it slowly, and so that being very real, and that silences and being, taking your own time with your performance is quite liberating.
I think that, yeah. And given like right now during the lockdown, OTT is like where everyone is looking at, for their projects, even their films. Are you looking forward to more in this space?
Yes, I'm definitely looking forward to more in this space. I think this is quite for an actor like me. I think this space is quite a perfect fit, and I think I can do more content that I've always wanted to do, that I've always dreamt of doing. I think it'll open up a very large space for me. So yeah. I am quite excited to see what more will come and what more I can do and how much more of my potential I can use.
I just wanted to ask how, in this kind of environment right now, journalism is not exactly very, it's being at this one for not being very sensitive, in some situations. So how do you what do you feel about it?
This was the case when I was doing it as well, which is the reason that I got deterred from it. So it's not just now that it was 10 years back, it was the same thing. It's just getting worse and worse. But that was exactly the reason why I didn't want to pursue it. I wanted to do something that was honest. And if I wanted to, make a difference, I thought maybe film would be a better way to do it. You can actually say what you want through film, and you can, put it out there for people to watch. At least you can make something happy and make another person smile and make another person happy. I really believe in that, rather than sort of selling negativity and then just trying to get...
Sensationalizing.
Yeah. So it's always negative stuff. I rarely see anything positive, because a lot of positive things happen in the world. A lot of beautiful things happen in the world, but it's never reported because it's not sellable. So I don't believe in that. I believe in being one of maybe the few people who wants to actually promote positivity and the good things that are happening in the world. It's very important.
So you're turning producer also with your next. So what are the kind of content or cinema that you want to helm or you want to be part of?
There's no specific it has to be this kind of films or this genre of films or something like that. It's more just real cinema that's not just made for commercial reasons, but for the sake of making good films.
So after Mission Mangal was your debut in Hindi, in the Hindi film industry, and then this. So are we going to see you more in over here in Hindi cinema? Is it something that?
Sure, of course. Why not? It's not a planned thing, but as always, language has never been
An
a
issue.
thing
Yeah,
for me at
definitely.
all. Yeah, so it doesn't matter where it comes from. I hope that no matter what language, that I'm able to do a lot more. And I've suddenly realized that there's a lot of Hindi speaking fans I have, which quite surprised me this time when I was in Bombay shooting and everything. So they watched all our South films dubbed.
Oh.
So there are a huge number of fans.
Yeah, there is. I think right now they watch, especially from what I've seen, there are a lot of movies that are being dubbed in Hindi, because of which it's gotten a whole new audience.
Yeah. So they are like, oh, हम लोग यही South के films ही देखते हैं, madam. We don't watch. So they love those films. So there's a huge kind of audience base, and I keep getting requests to do more Hindi stuff and everything. So I'm more than happy to do it.
Yeah. If I was to ask you about your upcoming projects, like something that you can tell us about, that we can look forward to.
I have this Telugu film which is coming out, which is a very exciting film. It's about a very interesting time in our recent history that happened, and a very interesting, sort of a satirical comedy thing, which is the first time I'm doing something like that. I'm also producing that film. And so that's there. And then I have a Tamil movie with Dhanush, which is being planned. So that's going to be there.
So good luck with Breathe and with everything that's coming. Yeah, it was lovely talking to you, Nithya.
Yeah. It was very nice talking to you too.